The Epstein Files Earthquake. 2026 documents unmask a global network of corruption. After decades of cover-ups and legal maneuvering behind closed doors, the Jeffrey Epstein case entered a stage of total reckoning in January 2026. What were once dismissed as conspiracy theories or fragmented leaks have been transformed by the Epstein Files Transparency Act, EFTA, into a historical audit of an entire global system. These documents are not merely a chronicle of moral failings, they serve as a roadmap showing how wealth and influence converted human trafficking into a protected service industry shielded by international institutions. 1. Legal framework. The Transparency Act breaks the silence. The massive information explosion followed unprecedented political pressure in late 2025. In November of that year, President Donald Trump signed legislation mandating the Department of Justice to declassify the complete archive, allowing for almost no exceptions regarding national security. Details of the January 2026 data dump. Scale: 3.5 million pages of digital and paper documents. Multimedia: 2,000 video files, including surveillance from New York mansions and the Virgin Islands, and 1,800,000 high-definition photographs. Sensitive content: minute-by-minute flight logs of the Lolita Express and visitors lists for Little St. James Island that include names never mentioned in previous trials. 2. The Wall of Cash: How JPMorgan Funded the Nightmare. Investigations led by Senator Ron Wyden have exposed the dark underbelly of the American banking system. It was revealed that JPMorgan Chase, JPMC, was not merely a service provider, but Epstein's primary financial enabler. The Wall of Cash: High-Volume, Low-Visibility Protocol. Leaked memos show that former executive John Duffy provided direct instructions to Epstein on how to withdraw cash exceeding $100,000 at a time. These were labeled as jet fuel expenses or logistics to bypass the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, radars. Retrospective reporting. The real shock came when the bank filed suspicious activity reports totaling $1.3 billion years after the fact, suggesting a desperate attempt to clean the records retroactively. The Leon Black funding. Documents prove that massive transfers from billionaire Leon Black, $170 million, flowed through Epstein's accounts to fund a network of properties and salaries for assistants specialized in recruiting minors. 3. Fallen idols: elites under the microscope. Names are no longer a matter of speculation. The 2026 documents provide verifiable evidence, emails, photos, and invoices implicating global figures. Elon Musk. Despite repeated denials, emails from 2012 to 2013 reveal conversations between Musk and Epstein regarding private arrangements. One email explicitly features Musk asking about the craziest parties, placing his reputation as a clean businessman at risk before Tesla and SpaceX shareholders. Prince Andrew and the Russian connection. The scandal has evolved beyond casual meetings. Files reveal correspondence where Epstein offered facilitations to the prince involving Eastern European women with intelligence backgrounds, raising national security concerns in the UK regarding potential blackmail of the royal family. Peter Mandelson. The documents marked a tragic end to Mandelson's political career. Bank records show Epstein was the secret financier for the education of Mandelson's family members in exchange for international diplomatic mediation. 4. Virginia Giuffre's memoirs: Nobody's Girl and the Final Testimony. The passing of Virginia Giuffre in April 2025 was a poignant turning point. However, her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl,
published in October 2025, provided details the courts could never extract. The recruitment engine. She described with precision how Ghislaine Maxwell exploited her financial vulnerability at Mar-a-Lago, grooming her from a simple employee into a commodity for the elite. The Unnamed Prime Minister. The book contains detailed descriptions of a prominent European political figure involved in the abuse, triggering fresh criminal investigations in 3 European countries. 5. Institutional complicity. The aborted 2007 indictment. Among the most damaging documents is the 2007 draft federal indictment that was never filed. It reveals that investigators had enough evidence to imprison Epstein for life nearly 2 decades ago, but intervention from higher levels forced prosecutor Alexander Acosta to sign the non-prosecution agreement. There was a sense that Epstein was protected by a sovereign entity that was untouchable. Excerpt from an internal FBI memo, 2008. 6. The FCI Bryan scandal. Maxwell's privileges. Whistleblower reports in late 2025 revealed that Ghislaine Maxwell was not living a standard prisoner's life. Evidence confirmed an unmonitored communication channel between her and outside parties. She utilized internet-connected tablets under the guise of legal research, which were actually used to coordinate the protection of the network's remaining secrets. International aftershocks, the Nordic earthquake. Even the stable global North was not immune. The documents revealed secret visits by Epstein to Oslo and Stockholm. Norway. Princess Mette-Marit faced intense public pressure to apologize for her long-standing relationship with Epstein, which continued even after his first conviction. Sweden. High-ranking officials in international humanitarian organizations fell after records showed they accepted donations from Epstein to launder his global reputation. Conclusion: a fractured truth. Despite the magnitude of the 2026 release, a data black hole remains. 2.5 million pages are still redacted. Analysts believe the next battle will be over the video database, which is thought to contain actual evidence of extortion and leverage. The question remains, does the judicial system possess the courage to prosecute the living financiers, or will the case be buried alongside its primary protagonists? 8. Beyond the client list, evidence of third-party involvement. The January 2026 documents were more than just statistics. They provided concrete evidence that Epstein operated a reciprocity system that extended far beyond his personal primes. Leaked papers indicate that the late financier followed a loan-out strategy for his victims, providing sexual services to a select group of elite associates to ensure their loyalty or to secure leverage in exchange. The Harvey Weinstein File. A prosecution memo dated January 2021, unsealed only in 2026, revealed shocking testimony from a victim who confirmed that Ghislaine Maxwell loaned her out to a friend staying at Epstein's home. Photos later identified this individual as the convicted film mogul Harvey Weinstein. The details. The victim described direct threats from Weinstein, who claimed he would bring in other women to force her into sexual acts if she refused. Despite denials from Weinstein's representatives, an FBI presentation prepared in July 2025 classifies this incident as part of a joint criminal pattern between the two men. The Leon Black investigation. Billionaire Leon Black's name appeared prominently on a page titled Prominent Names within the FBI files. The accusation. Documents suggest that Epstein forced victims to provide massages to Black in lewd positions. Legal standing. Despite denials from Black's attorney, Susan Estrich, who claimed independent probes exonerated him, the 2026 documents reveal that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office had already launched a non-public criminal probe into these allegations, based on new testimonies from victims trafficked for his benefit. 9. The Scouting Network and Pornography, Brunel and Farmer. The 2026 release shed new light on the role of the late French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel. Emails published by the House Oversight Committee show that Brunel acted as a scout, trafficking teenage girls from Europe to Epstein. The Image Trade. Testimony from Maria Farmer, an artist who worked for Epstein in 1996, confirmed that Epstein did not stop at assault. He stole nude photos and negatives of underage girls to sell to potential buyers. This bolsters the theory of a black market for child pornography operated by Epstein and third parties. Digital evidence. A letter from Epstein's estate lawyers in April 2023 revealed the discovery of videos and images containing child sexual abuse material, CSAM, shared with Epstein by other convicts, proving the criminal circle was significantly wider than just two individuals. 10. Institutional misinformation. FBI propaganda. Among the most controversial documents in the 2026 dump was a page titled Misconceptions within an FBI presentation. The contradiction: the document attempted to downplay the involvement of other men, claiming that Epstein did not regularly prostitute victims for money, a phrasing that victims' lawyers argue was designed to shield the elite from prosecution. The victim's response. Attorney Sigrid McCauley described this approach as an attempt to launder the network's reputation, asserting that providing young women to the wealthy was the primary currency that gave them control and influence. Meanwhile, Jennifer Freeman, representing Maria Farmer, questioned, why is the DOJ hiding the names of the perpetrators while exposing the survivors? 11. Conclusion. The reality of the client list. The absence of a formal paper client list does not negate the crime. Epstein provided girls as favors to build a network of moral and political debt. Following the suicide of Virginia Giuffre, who left behind memoirs naming members of royal families, the judicial system in 2026 faces unprecedented pressure to turn these allegations into criminal indictments against the living peers of Epstein.